Azrael, Joycelyn. It's just it's just us against the world. You know that, right? And I need y'all to prove your loyalty to me. Everybody has left me, took my money, and now y'all all I got. And so I'm gonna need you to prove your loyalty to me. Will you prove your loyalty to me? Yeah? Okay. When you eat this, you belong to me.
Skits like this plus a lot more wine spill live with me, Unwind with Tasha K on stage in Miami on October 20th, 2023 at 8 p.m. I better see the winos at the Flamingo Bar Theater. Grab your tickets. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. and seats are first come, first served within your ticket tier. And if you think I cut up on this here internet, you ain't ready for the shit that's about to go down live on stage. Scan the QR code or get your tickets using the link below. The winos are toasting up in Miami. Purchase now. Mark, you sleep,
Hey.
bro. We
Yeah,
saw you sleep
I'm-
backstage.
no,
G
I was.
sleep too. Where you calling from?
I'm calling from Quebec, but
Canada?
yeah, Quebec in Canada.
Okay.
Yes. Before I let you say bonjour, and that's for
Uh,
your husband, right? Now,
all I know, je m'appelle Tasha.
okay,
Comment ça
pas de
va?
problème. Oui, très bien.
Ah, oui, oui. Okay, that's all I
Okay.
know. So
So
listen.
what
Go
happens
ahead.
is, my question is related to. I'm from the Caribbean.
Okay.
My wife is Jamaican. We've traveled a lot, but I'm having a problem with what do you find different among the American culture to the African and the Caribbean culture where manners are concerned? I find when I meet American black people I'm speaking about, they have this pushy, arrogant thing about it. In your opinion, did you think that the American black culture is making it bad for other black cultures when we have to travel? I'm not going to talk about celebrities like what's going on in Dubai or your good little friend who's in England trying to get her ass scratched. Sorry, I shouldn't say that to demonetize you.
It's
But
okay.
what I'm trying to say is, do you see that there's a difference between, because you travel also, African culture as black people against your culture as Americans?
Um, I noticed it. Okay, here's what I would say. And that's a great question. That is a very good question. Okay. And you said it's been kind of difficult to travel because of the differences in culture and how blacks integrate amongst, blacks that are from Caribbean and Africa and things like that, right? That's the general question. But Americans tend to be more arrogant. White Americans are very arrogant. Black Americans are very arrogant as well. When I travel and say, for instance, I go to Europe, I believe Europeans are very snooty. You know what I'm saying? Whether
Yes,
they're black or whether they're white. I just personally, from traveling everywhere, have noticed that we are just a product of our environment. But what I will say is that traveling to the Caribbean and traveling to Africa and things like that, black people as a whole, when we get together as family and friends, we all the same. We all late. We're all very flashy. We're all very colorful. We're all like, we have a lot of the same culture, but it's been because we were raised in different parts of the world, we don't see that. You know what I'm saying? And so once you start to integrate, because like, marrying somebody who's from Mali, it's a very conservative country. You know Mali. You've heard
yes,
of
it is.
Mali, right?
Yes, it is. I've
And
traveled
their idea was she's American, she's this, she's that, she's that. Now, a lot of it, yeah, they were right. But what they didn't know was that I am the type of person that when I go into someone's culture, I respect that culture. So even though I don't cover up here in the United States, when I go to Mali, I cover up, whether it's through, the Muslim wear, the Islam wear, or I wear African clothes. I don't wear stuff like this. You see what I'm saying? And I think that just has to happen in any culture that you go into. So when you get into the American culture, I believe Americans, we are open. We're just we're
Okay,
just
you know
stuck in
what?
our ways. Like and it's most black cultures. Like I'll give you an example. Let me give you this, and then I'll let you speak.
Sure.
My aunt was on Section 8 here in the US for years. She kept saying she was gonna buy a house, and then she was trying to get a house with, I think it was called HUD houses or something like that. You know, where they bid houses for habitat. Yeah, houses for habitat. Okay. And so as a black as a people that was raised in poverty, all we know and knew for a long time was renting, right? But when I go to Africa and when people rent, some people want to buy houses if they get money, but some people will rent for the rest of their life. It's just black. It's a lot of the same. Even though we're raised in two different places, we still have a lot of the same habits. And that's why a lot of other cultures are able to penetrate, because we're a people of, if I see them doing that and they're my black person, I'm going to do it. If everybody got that same shoe, I'm going to do it. If everybody's renting, I'm going to rent. It's not until one decides to take a step out is when some of us will get the courage and follow. So that's sort of like what I've experienced going in and out of different cultures.
Okay, so this call was based on the fact that I was in America like 3 weeks ago in New
Okay.
York, and this beautiful black lady, she broke off my rearview mirror on my
Oh,
car, which belonged to my wife. So I ran behind her by the stoplight. I said, "Excuse me, like you broke the mirror completely off." And she never replied in a positive way. She said, "You're very lucky that I stopped. I didn't had to stop, but she stopped because of the red light." Now my black beautiful wife, who's from Jamaica, by the way, I'm from Barbados, not from the Caribbean islands.
okay. It's
We were
okay.
nice and we were like, my wife came in, "Madam, can you come and see our car?" And she's trying to say, "Oh, I don't have to see the car." And my car got hit through. And we're like, we were parked here. And I said, "What's the attitude?" I mean, here's a black man trying to tell you as a black woman, you hit my car. I wasn't violent because in Canada, we don't have the guns or that kind of stuff. So when we go to America, we try to be kind of quiet. And my wife had to came over and say, "Well, I'm gonna call the police." Then when she heard my wife say, "I'm gonna call the police," she was like, "Oh, you don't have to get in this." She wants to curse my wife. I said, "But that's her car that you now broke." So
Mhm.
as a person who traveled to Ghana, Uganda, through Africa, I could go to Trinidad. So for America, I don't have to list all the places I've traveled. I just have some fun with my wife. I'm kind of retired in my 50s, right? And I can
Mhm.
afford it. I find that whenever I, as a black Caribbean person, meets an American black, there's always this dominance over me when they say something, or when we're in the line, anywhere at the airport, in the restaurant. I always have to know this person is American. Where other cultures just stand right there and be served next, I was kind of quiet. That's just, I want to know what's your opinion of the behavior pattern of American blacks, the other blacks that you're going to see. Now, not saying that I have an issue with American blacks. I'm just surprised that as a black man in New York, and I'm telling you as a black woman, you hit the car that is parked, and you're telling me I'm lucky that you stopped. Anyhow, to make things quickly so other persons can come on, we agreed to take $100 US to replace that mirror. And that mirror in Canada costs us like 600 and something dollars Canadian. But we were willing to add the rest of the money, but just at least even actually had give us $1 to say, "Sir, sorry. Not you're lucky that I stopped." Because in Quebec or even in Barbados or in Jamaica, some other person will have the money to say, "Sir, shit, I hit your car. Like, how do we work this out? You don't have to
Well, let
call
me
the
let me
phone."
stop you right there. I'm glad you told the story, and I shouldn't have went on with that long rant that I went on with. You're in New York. New Yorkers don't give a fuck. You could have been white, black, Hispanic. They still would have cussed your ass out. And you are honestly, because she could have did a hit and run. She could have not gave you nothing. And what she's saying is, you're lucky because in New York, nobody waits on no man. And so to me, I think that was honestly generous of her to do that, because most of them don't even care. They'll hit you and keep going. So that's just New Yorkers. But if you come to the South, you're going to be filling out paperwork with the police right there, whether it's your fault or not. The South, they're going to keep you there all day like you ain't got nowhere to go. Okay. So it's different parts of the world. But New York it's a jungle. And
But, but
I was in Mali a few months ago, and somebody ran into my cousin's side of the car and just kept going. Nobody stopped. Did it the whole side of the car. By the time you turn around, he disappeared into the traffic. So like it can happen anywhere. So I don't think it has anything to do with Americans not respecting you as a black man, because in America, black men have no respect.
okay. Thank you for that.
No problem. Thank you so much.
Okay. Have a nice day. Enjoy your show
All
too.
right. Have a nice
Okay.
day.
Okay.
Uh,
Can you
yeah,
say something that's in my dialect that I don't hear you say in your show? Can you say cheese down bread sometimes when you do your show? Cheese down bread. That's a
what that mean?
Bajan thing. That's
What that mean?
like I don't want to say what I mean. I'm gonna let the other people in your the other winos
Okay.
determine what it means to see how much we are culture integrated as American and Caribbean black people and Africans. That we
Okay.
must know each other
Now
culture.
don't say we don't support Caribbeans now because we eat y'all food all the time.
No, no, we no.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Okay, I'm not saying Tasha, don't start nothing now. You know how you are. You know how
Wait
you are.
a
Do
minute.
not
I
start
didn't say
nothing.
nothing. All
I
I
love
said is
you.
we
I love you.
support.
I'm not gonna do the LGBT thing and all
Yeah.
kinds of stuff. I'm not gonna come and
Then
knock
how
at
did
your
this
door.
turn around
I'm
on
just trying
me?
to do a crazy thing. I'm just trying to have it like I want us to be integrated, so I don't
Right.
have to say something where
Mm-hmm.
people will say that I know that because right now I found out from your little girlfriend that I supposed to get my ass eat. I don't want to say that thing on the internet, but you know who, right?
Mark.
And I'm surprised that men allow that. I'm married for so many years, and my wife never did that,
Uh,
and I never knew that's a style because now that's
Mark.
from American culture. Yes.
Mark.
So I'm learning American culture. So you need to learn my cheese on bread
Mark.
because I learned how to get my thing eat. But my wife never done it. So I'm just trying to
And
say.
will never do it.
Oh, my wife is in the background. She says she will never do that. She will
Let me
never
talk
eat
to your
bread.
wife for a second. Let me talk to your wife for a second.
No, 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 no. Don't
Because
put that.
because she was kind of lying in bed and I caught her off guard. And you know how
Yeah.
women are. You know how pretty women like to look pretty
So you
because
want you want your you want your ass ate is what you saying?
no, I do not want my ass eaten. I do not want that.
Okay.
I was just trying to say that I do understand American culture. I'm learning it. So that's why I asked you to find out what the cheese down bread is called without me saying it. Because if we are Caribbean and
Down
Africans
bread
and
is
we're
eating
learning
ass, right?
American culture,
So
right?
cheese down bread means eating ass, right?
Pardon?
Cheese down bread means eating ass.
No, no, no. Cheese down bread doesn't mean eating ass. I'm trying to say that American culture, it would be nice if American culture learns more about African culture and the Caribbean culture because all of us, the other blacks, we always try to learn about American culture,
But what I'm trying to
we
say is,
black
where did
people.
Sukiana's eating ass had to do with it? Where did that come in at? What is what I'm trying to
Because
figure out? Because
it,
you say
let
your
me,
wife never,
it, it,
22 years, your wife never ate ass. Where did this come from?
because of you, we are learning American culture. Not you do it, but do you the Sukiana? I
That's
don't want to talk
called,
about the stars.
okay, that's called, listen to me.
Mhm.
It's not American culture.
Oh, okay, it's not American culture.
It's called whole culture.
Whole culture. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Now, hoes provide certain services that are sellable everywhere. Do you understand what I'm
Mhm.
saying? You
Mhm.
can go to the Caribbean and find an ass eater. You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
These are things that are done by ladies of the night.
Okay.
You know what a lady of the night is, right?
Yes, I know, of course, of course.
Okay.
Bushy.
Now, yes, Sukiana happens to be of Nigerian descent, but and she happens to be American, but she also happens to come from a different
Slang?
set
Mm.
of Americans that live by a different set of rules, and they have no rules. So that's why your wife would never eat your ass because she doesn't come from that, and you won't run into a lot of American women that do that. You know, so that's a whole different. What I'm trying to say is like, I know Sukiana, and I don't approve of whole culture. So when I'm introducing it to you, I'm introducing it to you so we can start saying no to whole culture being mainstream. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to feed it to our children. If I go overseas, you don't see hoes on TV. You don't see hoes on TV in Africa or the Caribbean. That's a lady of the night thing, but now they're trying to integrate it with everyday life. So my child turns on the TV or the internet, they see hoes, somebody they eat ass everywhere. But as a person that is a taxpayer and a voter, I'm voting no to anybody trying to pass an eating ass a slut walk. You understand what I'm saying? So
Yes.
that's why I bring it up. But I thank you so much for your question. You had me worried there for a second because I was like, What your
Okay.
wife got to do with eating ass?
That's
You know,
okay.
that's a whole respectable woman.
I'm so happy that you didn't assume that my wife was an ass eater.
No, I did not. You brought her out. I did not.
Okay, then. But I just try to say she does not, right?
No.
No, I used the term cheese on bread in there when I spoke to you. So you have to figure out.
Thank you, Mark.
Okay.
I appreciate
Thank you.
it.
Have a nice day. I
Have
want
a
to keep
good day.
you.
Say goodbye to your wife for me.
I love your show. I
Love
really
you
do love
too.
you.
All
I hope
right.
that you get through
Okay.
all of this mess that you're going through, but that's life.
It's okay.
You know?
It's okay. It's life. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Have a
Thank
nice
you,
day. Bye.
Mark. Bye. That was interesting. I did not know it was gonna go that way. I had no idea. Like, oh my god. Okay, let me switch to this.